Take questions.
Obviously disappointed with the outcome. Had plenty of opportunities to win. Just didn't get it done offensively. Our defense played lights out, did a great job today. Appreciate Coach Seymour and the staff having those guys ready to go and really just the players in general. Offensively, we just have struggled down the stretch. And I think there's plenty of reasons for that, things we'll address in the offseason. At the end of the day, it's my job to get points on the board, and didn't do a good enough of that today and even just the last few weeks as we got beat up as the season went on. Didn't quite look the same, and today was the same thing. Yards at times, but not enough points, and really great effort, but just poor execution, and that falls on me. So I told the guys in the locker room, this is on me, all me, my responsibility. We'll go to work in the offseason, recruit like crazy, develop like crazy, and see where we turn the page and move forward, and hopefully look a lot different in every phase, but especially offensively moving into the next season. So what questions do you have?
Hey, Coach, Hunter Dawkins, the Gazebo Gazette Super Talk. You know, the main thing is, you know, now that you're in the permanent position, have you talked with some of the guys, at least that you plan on coming back next year, things like that? If y'all have like a plan in place, I mean, I know January 2nd is coming around pretty soon here, but.
Yeah. I have met with every player that has the possibility to return. A handful have said they're coming and staying. A handful have said they're going with Coach Huff, which is expected. He brought a lot of those guys there. There's a lot of undecideds. There's a lot of noise outside of our building. Guys being tugged in a million different directions. So we're going to keep some. We're going to lose some. We'll keep some that maybe you didn't think we would. We'll lose some that we probably shouldn't, just because the voices are loud. We're gonna dissect the problem once we know who's decided to do what. We're gonna continue to recruit the guys that have the possibility to come back over the course of the next couple of weeks as well, leading up to the portal. But when you have a transition as quickly as we had, with Coach Huff being there roughly a year and bringing as many players as he did, there is going to be, you know, some attrition, and we just got to deal with it. There's a lot of players that want to be there. There's a lot of players out at the high school level, junior college level, and guys that will go into the portal that will see the value in our place, see what we've started, what's possible there, and we'll build a roster, and I think we'll find a way to be competitive. That's what we've done the last two stops I've been with, similar, you know, attrition and circumstances. So we're going to find a way to work the problem.
Hi, Coach. David Edelstein, Sports Director at WJTV and WHLT, CBS in Jackson and Hattiesburg. You know, I asked the hard question first here. The past few games to end the regular season, and now today, it does appear to me at least to be the same story. I know that you focused on the offense a lot to this point, but what do you see as being the difference in the second half just of games and the past four to end the season?
Yeah, I don't want to beat us up without watching the tape from the field. Just consistency offensively, we're just not consistent enough. Don't run the ball consistently enough to stay ahead of the chains. Miss some opportunities, but like I said before, man, that falls on me. It starts in recruiting. We got to beef up our O-line and allow us to be able to run the ball when we need to. We got to put some time, energy, and money into beefing up the O-line, building up the O-line. Schematically, we'll look at things in the offseason and see where we can be better schematically too. You know, I think Kyle Cefalo coming in as the OC, his perspective and maybe 1,000-foot view for me to really look and see where we can change some things and make some adjustments. But we've been beat up. Obviously, Braylon did a phenomenal job tonight coming back from what we've seen over the last month, just in terms of how the knee was. I thought he did an amazing job of battling through it and giving us a chance. So there's a million things to fix, from recruiting to off-season to schematics to all the above. But I know if you own the front, you have a chance to win. And if you don't, it's going to be really difficult. And I think that's where we got to really focus our efforts moving into the off-season.
Theo Mixon with the Pine Belt News. Coach, when their quarterback goes down right there, and then they bring the other guy in, Myrick, in, is that something y'all plan for throughout the week, or did it kind of, different kind of looking quarterback, different kind of system, offensive system that they ran from the first half to the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I would tell you, if you talk to Coach Seymour, you always know that if you're doing a good job getting to him, you got a chance to move to number 2. It didn't change their offense tremendously. We've kind of seen they are who they are, and really going to stick to that. And at times we had them dialed up good. At times they made some plays. I thought they made a couple really, really key plays on third down in the second half. But our defense kept standing up, making plays. The strip, fumble down in the end zone, the sacks, the turnovers. Just, man, they played good enough to win. Defense played good enough to win. Offense, we got to do a better job. It's that simple.
Could you speak on the third downs in the second half? First half 50%, second half 13%.
Yeah, just did not execute real well. Again, I think it really kind of starts for us up front, and then we got to win in some one-on-one areas. Don't want to, without being able to really go through and dissect it, I don't want to point fingers in any particular area, but they executed better than we did, bottom line. And maybe it schematically I didn't put us in great position. I'll take the ownership. It's my fault.
Hey, Coach, Lucas Hill of the Southeastern Channel. Talk to me about what changed defensively from the first to the second half. I know you guys were able to create turnovers. Just what happened from that standpoint after being able to create those turnovers?
Again, guys, I hate to tell you this, but without me watching the tape, I'm going to be guessing. They did create a couple explosives along the way, although our defense rallied really, really well. They also converted a couple key third downs, I think, that extended drives. But we can focus on that all we want to. The defense played good enough to win. We've got to score points and find a way to finish. So without watching the tape and slowing it down with a clicker, any schematic conversations right now are going to be a guess, and I don't want to do that. Our guys played too well for that.
Coach Anderson, Ryan Hancock, Sports Director, WKU at 91.5 FM. 4th and 1, you all were deep in y'all territory, and you guys didn't cash in. What was the thought process behind that 4th and 1 call?
Keep in mind it was 3rd and 1.5 the play before. If we can't get a first down on 3rd and 1.5 and 4th and 1, we do not deserve to win, and that's where it starts in the offseason. We've got to be able to move the pile.
Facts.
All right, if you're going to win at a championship level, you got to be able to move the pile right there. You got to be able to get a hard yard, when everybody in the stadium knows what's coming. And we didn't do that. So we've got to recruit, we got to develop, and we've got to be able to puncture that play right there. And we can, and it's possible and capable, and very reasonable to think that we could. So I'm trying to win the game, not to lose. And we got to be able to puncture right there and get a yard. And that's really what the goal was.
All right, last one for Coach Anderson right here.
I'm not in a hurry. I'll take what they need. I'll take what you need.
Sam Sklar with the Clarion Ledger and Hattiesburg American. It was such a great start to the season for the team, and now to end it just in 4 straight losses. What's just your confidence level that you can keep sustaining what there was at the beginning of the season, that this ending to the season won't kind of spoil over into next season?
Yeah, I still think you look at 1-11 to 7-6 is still a huge step in the right direction. So I don't want the work that these guys did to get lost in that. Obviously, losing down the stretch, there can be a million factors going into this game. Man, just the amount that these guys had on their plate with all the transition and everything, that's a lot. So I don't want it to lose sight to what this senior class did and what this team did in general. Most people don't make that jump, right? So let's give them respect and credit for what they did, and then we'll work the problem in the offseason where we can get better in every phase. We can get better at everything. This is not a one-year fix. This is take the next step, build on what we did, and try to stabilize the program for the future. That was the job that I took on. Let's stabilize this thing so we can be competitive every year, and let's see what holes we need to fill and fix, and go to work. And that's what we're going to do. But man, they did a phenomenal job. They did a phenomenal job to put us in a position where we can go out and have some momentum, and got back to a bowl. We're competitive in the league all year long. That's what you asked those guys to do, and that's what they did. So I'm pleased for that.
Thanks, Coach, for taking the time.
Sure.
Once again, David Edelstein from WHLT in Hattiesburg. How much? I know everyone's had really great things to say about you. Obviously, and you've given us the time all year and talked about the process. When a head coach does leave, though, which we've seen at many institutions recently, right before a bowl game, and there are those changes based on how the schedule goes all around, what kind of a challenge does that present behind the scenes as you get ready and you're promoted to interim and head coach, and just for the team getting ready for this particular game?
I mean, the challenges are real. It's a big challenge, and you got to give these guys credit for holding things together. You know, the senior class didn't choose to play for me; they chose to play for each other, and I appreciate that. The 20-some-odd guys that came from Marshall, they chose to come play for Coach Huff. So when you take him out of the equation, and initially I'm an interim, they could have very easily said, you know, we're not doing this. You know, we're not. When they named me the head coach, those same amount of guys we just talked about really didn't choose me as their head coach. And a lot of these guys are going to have to make that decision now. So I think they did a great job of being respectful, working their tails off. We had great practices this last week. Played hard tonight. We didn't play great. We didn't execute well, but they played hard. It was a hard-fought, competitive game all the way in. That's all you can ask those guys. It's been a huge challenge for everybody involved, including me. Tried to do my very best to keep myself out of the limelight, push the seniors forward, and let these guys finish. And my only regret is that I didn't get them to the finish line with a win. They deserve that, and I wish I could have helped them deliver that. And just we fell short.
Last one for real.
Anybody?
Nigel Williamson, WOX. You said in your introductory press conference that this game was not about you, it was about the players. Just, can you kind of talk about all the work, the culmination these past couple of weeks? Just kind of give them their flowers, I guess, in a way.
No, they deserve a huge amount of credit and respect from our fan base and from really anybody paying attention. I said this to a bunch of people. I mean, how many of us in this room would have chosen 1 and 11 when there were so many other places out there that they could have gone? A lot of places they could have gone for more money. They chose this place because they believed in Coach Huff. They chose it because they believed in each other. And even though we did fall short here late, they did turn the page and get us back into contention in the league. We were in contention all season in this league in the very first trip. They chose, hard work. They chose in a lot of places where other folks wouldn't. And we had a run there for a while. Gave out a juice at the end. Could be, again, a million different factors that cause that, and we'll try to dissect that as best we can. But there's the feat that they accomplished is still huge, and I appreciate them tremendously for how they treated me all year, both on the offensive side and even the defensive guys that didn't necessarily play for me. It's been a great group of guys to be around, and like I said, I just hate that we fell short here. I'd love for them to go home with a win, with number 8, with a bowl trophy, and all those great memories, but still does not diminish what they have been capable and able to do in a very short window with a lot of odds stacked against them. So love them, appreciate them, and very, very proud of them. So thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.